Hello there everyone and welcome back. I finally got access to my battle cruisers, sort of, maybe, as now my auxiliary ships have been unlocked. The thing is, I have no idea what to do with these ships, because they are so drastically different to what I'm used to. We got the Daimir Stronghold, which is basically a smaller, quite a little bit more fragile battleship, but it has the points adjusted to make up for it at least. We have the Bastion as a standard cruiser, which is kind of similar to the regular Stronghold there, which practically the same mobility as an unfavored Tau ship, so that's appealing. And we got the Groot War Spear, which is so lovable, I gotta say. If it wasn't for the fact this thing was so silly, I would probably be in love with this thing if this had any real practical use. Just look at those stats. 75 mobility, and you're looking at it right here, 0 rotation speed. It has to use its boosters in a very similar fashion to Orcs in order to change its direction. Otherwise, it's just going a straight direction. You're literally pushing a ball towards the enemy and hope it does something. But despite how silly it is damn cheap, so you have to use that for something really specific. And I have a few thoughts for it. And its firepower is actually pretty potent there, with its 360-degree rotation or angle, I guess. So this thing is lovable. I really hope I can come up with a strategy to make use of this thing. But as it stands now, this kind of thing is probably only useful with stealth alloy for one, and for like some kind of base defense or objective base like missions where either there's beacons to kind of destroy or like a stronghold. Only thing I could think of. As it stands now, I'm going to use the Stronghold, which is the battleship version of the Damien ships, to kind of practice and prepare, hopefully, for the Tau battleship, which I guess is the Custodian, I guess it's called. So we're gonna try and gear this thing out. It is probably going to be just as slow as Custodian, because it's got like crap rotation speed. Pretty decent in comparison to my Imperial Navy ships that I've been using for, but it's got access to all the other quirks there. Only downside is I can't favor it, which I guess would be apparent, and it can't even upgrade the crew. So we're just going strictly on skills and upgrades. So that begs the question, how the hell do I use this thing? Probably go make it resilient as hell. I'm just not sure what's the best way to do that, because I like the idea of armor tanking, which is kind of the route I went, so I think I'll go with that. Micro warp jump to help with its mobility some. And what else is there? Aside from maybe disruptors so it can get closer. Well, they would still see it coming until I get the stealth alloy, to be honest. And just using that would give away my position, so that's not that exciting. And only other thing I could think of is maybe a stasis bomb. Wait, do I? Oh, I seriously don't have a stasis bomb. Wow, I didn't realize that. It was replaced for the wave projector, which actually would hinder me more than help with this ship. So we'll just focus on, I guess, my defenses for now. I was kind of half contemplating the induction coils to help get close to ships, but if I play my cards right, this thing will be my Tau ships currently should try and bait them to this instead, I think is how it's going to work. Because this thing is quite impressive. I deemed it kind of like the reverse Star Destroyer, at least the cruiser variant, because it looks vaguely like a Star Destroyer, just with a really weird command deck there, and it didn't have this hole in the middle. So, I am interested to try this thing out. It's going to be different, to say the least. I don't know how well it's going to go. But considering I have a Dalef that needs leveling up as well, I don't think this is what I had in mind, unless I want to play a much more slower passive style with one of my Sauces to kind of scout and reveal them. That's the only thing I can really think of. Having this Stronghold there mixed with the Dalef and combine it with this Sauce with the extra sensor range and beacon to kind of spot for me. But I don't know what kind of faction I would be really effective against. Because Chaos, the past few times I went up against, they like to kite me, and they would have a field day with trying to kite this thing. Because it's only got, what, 9,000 units on most of its weaponry? Well, it's got 12,000 units on the lances. The problem is those are strictly broadside weapons, so not reliable even against chaos more than often than not. 6,000 units, 9,000 units on the front weaponry, so decent range there. It has torpedoes. It has the fancy cutting beam, which can do an amazing amount of burst damage if I can utilize it. So there's a lot of new mechanics to this thing. It's just a matter of figuring it out and putting it to the real test, and not just against some bots to try and learn it. Alright, we got ourselves a match now. Took a little bit longer than I would have liked, but it seems like we're facing off first off against the Imperial Navy. And I have a massive point advantage. This does not... I'm not liking the prospect of this. Not at least using with the stronghold, because that's going to get swarmed so quickly, which may not be a bad thing. It's just going to get hit by torpedoes so easily. That's the real risk. Never mind the Nova cannons, but it's actually pretty resilient for Nova cannons, so I don't think it fits this matchup. Not until it gets stealth armor at least, so we can get a good angle and get in close, where it's a little bit hard for him to aim, provided I position myself properly. So I think, sadly, that's out of the question. Can I get away? Well, I have so many points, so why not bring my A game? Bring my A game, expect a lot of... yeah, expect like a battleship and everything. He has 600 points. I'm assuming I'm gonna get like the full... I got nearly 100 point bonus out of this, so... This is max level, 100 points. Well, level 10 everything I imagine, and I am fielding practically every single cruiser I have. They're formidable, mind you, they just don't have the raw upgrade potential, so I have to be very willing to retreat if this doesn't bode well for me. Because the one time I played against the Imperial Navy, I got my ass handed to me, basically, just because of a micro warp jump. Mind you, it was a much different time. So, now that I'm actually favored up, let me make sure I have the one with the beacon in front too, that would help. You give a little bit spine, and he has Widowmakers, that's a big deal too. If I can snipe those things that are good. And can I do a little tricky thing here? I seriously doubt it, but I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna have this isolate there. I'm probably more than likely gonna get caught in close range, so Monka will be good if I can get those critical hits. Especially on the weapons. Critical hits on the weapons is actually pretty effective against the Imperial Navy, I believe. And 5 ships with 600 points, so what does this tell me? Well, let's see, there's a cruiser. So, it's only going to stall him for like a few moments because I'm poking out of the gas cloud. But I need to spread out in case the Nova can spam. That's something I need to be ready for.
Honor the teachings of Viola.
And start getting these ships to reinforce.
How may I serve the Talva?
If he has Novacans, how do I feel about that?
The Ethereals guide us.
If I can get in close, which is also scary because he has better firepower, I can avoid that and really good control of my boosters because I actually reduce accuracy when I'm boosting would actually be pretty good. And it's almost impossible for him to hit me with those torpedoes if I'm on top. Wow. I hope it wasn't just me that heard him hit those that mine. I hope it just wasn't me there. Because he just took a hit there or something. It's considering nothing died. It only is 100 points of damage, but it burned his repairs. So not so terrible. Just need an opportunity to capitalize on it now, and I haven't seen anything just yet as far as Novacans. I just saw what, 2-3 torpedo waves, and I have debris in the way. Oh, that was a bad torpedo shot, in fact. I didn't even need to go to try and dodge that. So what do we have here? Overlord. 3 Mark 1 Dauntlesses, wow.
Disengaging pure tide command link.
And what else?
How may I serve the Talva?
So that was not a good shot, was it? Or did the bombers do their thing? Is the real question. Bombers did some damage. He does have lances, not a big deal just yet, because I could just straight up outrun him. I just gotta kill these things quickly and disarm some of the weapons. You lucky bugger. He's just lancing me to death there, so that's all that's due. That's all that is. So let me try and go through this mess, because this thing can't run away now, unfortunately. That much is evident. Oh, engines are just dying immediately. This is what belt armor, keep in mind. So, engines are gone already. This is not going well. Yeah, I kind of figured as much there. I know my power is limited there, but wow. I'm gonna let that go, but it's not gonna survive the trip, the transition. So that's unfortunate. Yeah, I'll have to get ready to bail to preserve my losses. So this is amusing. And now it just doesn't want me to board. I don't know why you weren't letting me board, but okay. It worked decently there, but I had to run away from him immediately, which is amusing, because he has no firepower on these things. He does have lances, which will do reliable damage, but it's not really potent there on its own. So, I wonder what to do about that better. It was a promising start. It's really because my engines got screwed over so quickly there. Sure, I was spread out too, but I have better range than these damn light cruisers, but they're also level 9, right? So, level 9 with no lance enhancements, so I should have been in good shape there. That was brutal. Don't know what to really make of that. Because you figure torpedoes I would be dancing around them a lot, which would mean I would eventually get hit. Or waste all my bombers, or my ordnance base for fighters to just try and shoot them down if I was concerned about them swarming, so... He did get really amazing, like, lightning strikes and board attempts there on those two ships. Remember, they all had belt armor, so there was 4 critical hits directly on the engine. So, he got amazingly lucky, or what? I'm not sure. Because my poor cruiser got screwed over because I did repair ahead of time. Because seriously, you wouldn't expect that to happen, right? Because I didn't even notice that the belt armor was gone. And as a result, I got... Let's see, both my ships have warped out, of course, are lost in the warp. I can live with that some. I do need to repair something, though. Thankfully, I have the favor for it, at least. So not a huge deal. Do I really want to repair the cruiser? Well, size for my auxiliary ship, I shouldn't have to worry too much. So at least now I have 3 cruisers available and the stronghold. Maybe it would have been better to go with the stronghold. At least I would have the health pool to kind of sustain that damage. I seriously doubt it, though. And chances are this is probably the same fellas, so I can outrange him to some light extent. Because I straight up outrun him even without the boosters. And I had an amazing beacon there, so everything at the start was going well for me. Just was spread out and unable to focus the damage. And this is another Imperial Navy ship, fleet. This one's probably going to be a little more traditional, maybe. And this is Assassination 2, so... This is interesting. Do I go with the obvious stronghold, or go with something that can run? Probably something that can run. It's Imperial Navy again, so I can kite, and... If I could just straight up kite away from him, then I have an easy level for my stronghold, assuming... Yeah, because if he focuses on this, the stronghold just survives regardless. Unless it happens to be in the way. But I have no messengers, so... That's not really an issue though, mind you, because torpedoes are really hard to take down anyway. It's more fighters that I'm concerned about, to be honest. Which I don't think there's very many fighters that get utilized. At least for the Imperial Navy, I sure as hell, from using them, don't feel tempted to use it. To use like a Mars or anything else with fighter base, but that's my personal preference, really. Oh, and I forgot I was at... Damn it. I thought for some reason I was defending. Either way, if I fail to kill it somehow, I still get the level, and so I get what I need. The Damien ship is going to be pretty useless, though. That's the only downside. It is not fit for this match. If I was the defender, then it'd be amazing. It has the help pool, it has armor and decent firepower for close range. And, what, 6 torpedoes? It is pretty close to an Imperial ship. It even has bombers and fighters for like the triple threat. Big massive weaponry, or number of weaponry to burst them down. Torpedoes for more burst. Excuse me. Excuse me, my voice is breaking. And I forget what I was going to say. It's got torpedoes, it's got lots and lots of weaponry for burst damage, and it's also got the bombers. And let's not forget the cutting beam if I can somehow utilize it fully, which I'm not going to do here, considering the lack of being able to charge it.
How may I serve the Talva?
So I think it's going to be a safe assumption I'm not going to be able to do a lot here. But I can fire torpedoes. Get that started. Now, can I dodge? He's got high-speed torpedoes, short-burn torpedoes, and a Widowmaker's. So that's fine. I got beacons. Oops, and I accidentally used a repair drone. Oh, these are melt-a-bombs. Wow. That's a bit of a whiff, isn't it? Come on, get moving. Why aren't you moving? Oh, I thought I told him to get moving, so I'm not really so worried about 75 armor. I just need to kill those Widow... Well, the Widowmakers mean nothing because of how short this is going to be. So, just boost this thing in, get it detected, because it is obviously already detected. Now, kill what I can. Make this a priority, kill its generators if possible. So that's going to take a few hits, not much I can do about that. So yeah, he just straight up has the raw firepower, so not much I could do about this. Can I get the torpedoes and defend? No, it doesn't look like it. A little bit too early. That had to hurt, especially for me. So this is getting really sloppy really fast. But let me kill this thing.
Something to mine there.
Get it charged. Get its repairs going. Did I seriously tell these things to stop? I didn't want them to stop. That was a bit of a narrow whiff. I don't know why I'm whiffing so much all of a sudden, but I am apparently. So fire the weaponry. Oh wait, damn it! I thought for some reason I had my my stuff set up. I had my fighters set up, so that was another whiff. Oh, and I fired the wrong torpedoes too. That's oh well. This looks like a win, just a very sloppy win, unfortunately. I could not feel happy about that one, unfortunately. I kept mismanaging my micro there. It's an off day, really. At least for that one match. Or maybe I'm so shaken and unexperienced with Imperial Navy that I just fell apart. Maybe that's what it is, I seriously doubt it. But it got its level in. I did lose 2 of my ships, did I? Yeah, I lost 2 ships, but in exchange 280 renown, which will easily repair them, so... Not a huge loss. I'm still not happy with how that performance went, though. So, we're going to try and rectify this some, but... I'm contemplating going straight to Stealth Alloy first, because... that way it won't give away what it is I'm fielding, potentially. They won't know it's a battleship, at least judging by its movement. But that assassination was poor execution. I should have gone with like cruisers in that instead, to be honest. Belt armor's also tempting, but I think I want this to be like a wall rather than something agile. Because really, it has no high energy turns, so it's just gonna take the hits anyway. So if I could prevent it from getting spotted, at least then it doesn't take torpedoes early on. Stupid explanation, I know. But we got a second upgrade for my regular sauces without the beacons, so how do I want to mix it up? One of the ideas that I had was auxiliary power relays, because if it does lose its engines, at least it only goes at 150 units a second, which means it's just as fast as traditional Tau ships, which is really tempting. I don't think I care about boarding action so much. It's kind of nice, but I'm not going all out on that yet. I have the essentials. Let's see, acquisition system sounds good for like enhanced range. Advanced deflectors, I seriously don't know what route to go. Asides for advanced cogitator linkage for better longevity on my special orders that aren't silent running apparently. Ah, damn it. This is gonna take some thought. So for the time being, I'm just gonna go with that, because I know I like my lock-on to kind of burst them down quickly on hit-and-run attacks if I go that route. And the longer duration just means my ships are just straight up more formidable, especially braced for impact with the air cache's ability to reduce accuracy when boosting. That can stack together too if I'm really concerned about taking damage. I ranted enough, so let's get back to it. Thankfully, I got my upgrade in, and that should make a significant difference. He's not going to see it coming unless I get hit by a fluke beacon or something else that might potentially reveal it. Like torpedoes miraculously disappearing when at the edge of his vision, maybe, once it gets really close. That's the only other normal occurrence I would imagine. But it should help a lot getting in position, because this is very close range reliant. It has ways of being stealthed already, but only in an asteroid field, which means it has to stand still, unfortunately, so that's not a reliable tactic either. We'll see. So, what do we have here this time? Another 600 points. Let's see, how's it going to get tallied? 690. Space Marines, so this feels like a battle barge. Which I don't think this thing would stand a chance against if he's going to field 1 or 2 battle barges. And I'm ill prepared for that. Only thing I got going for me is bombers, really, because they can breach through the armor really well, so... Do I want to attempt to change the tactics here? Messengers will be useful for the boarding torpedoes, and at least minimize the number of them, because I can dodge some. But when they start building up there, because I haven't killed them quick enough, that messenger is going to be useful there. As much as I like the stronghold, it's going to be... I'm thinking battle barges mainly. It's possible he might not go a battle barge, but I think it's heavily like he's going to have at least one. So this will be different as well, to say the least. Although I don't feel really comfortable deploying so many cruisers. Not while I'm trying to level them up and try to build up on renown as well. But bombers, the Manta bombers are going to be able to chip it down reliably, assuming they're getting close. So I can utilize that mechanic some. Oh, and I forgot about the warnings, so that'll be good for at least covering my flanks, possibly. they're not going to do a whole lot besides the lances, which will do some gradual damage at least. So maybe it's not so bad. But this is a massive open area, and he does have the advantage of that one Nebula Cloud. Thankfully, recon beacons can easily counter that. So the Dalef is going to hang in the back. It's going to fall quite notably behind, which could trick him to think it's something more valuable. That could be an advantage for me. I just want to keep this close together as possible, because that way, well, until I'm revealed, he's just going to fire regular torpedoes, so being spread out is optimal. I'm talking too much. I feel like I'm talking way too much, so let's just worry about the match and see what we spot. And if it is a battle barge, there's no... Well, I have better firepower in close. It just got the... It has the range. Oops. And I forgot to just move these ships. That's a bit of a blunder. So, beacon. Autocast beacon, so that's not good for you, buddy. I kind of hate the fact you're just autocasting, but 4 torpedoes, so this is 4 light cruisers, or 4 regular cruisers, so the Dalef is vulnerable here. And he's firing another beacon, that's fine. And where's the second beacon going? Going far, far to the left. So, can I just dodge this? Yeah, first beacon's easily dodged. Let me tighten up my formation some.
For Anvar, it will be so.
So what I'm going to do is try to make this as tight formation as possible and try and breach all holes through the torpedoes. Not to mention some of them's already broke, so I just don't want to get exposed by a second beacon, which is about to do. So maybe, damn it, it's too late. It's already too late there, but I can repair it. And I do have this little thing to kind of hide behind to minimize a lot of the torpedoes. Does it reveal? Nope, they're all good. Just try and keep a narrow formation, which means the Sauce gets further away. I do have cover. Yeah, he's just doing a normal wall. As soon as I reveal him, that's not a big deal. He's not even focus firing effectively. And with that said, let me get my bombers out. They'll help deal with this little torpedo wall as well. With the messenger, I could just breach right through. That's the hope anyway. And without a doubt, he's going to solid run, so as soon as I'm spotted. Okay, torpedoes are doing well. Keep them narrow line. I'll probably have to weather the storm some. Especially if it's wide arc, which isn't a big deal. And he does have enhanced range, so that's... I'm just going to reveal him. Force his order. Can that... Oh, that's... If I can get behind the structure, that's actually going to just get straight up get destroyed once it hits this wall.
Drones have identified an enemy target.
Yeah, there. So, let's have some fun here. It's not much of fun, mind you. But he's only like spying one ship there. He's gonna have to pick a better formation there a little bit. Yeah, that's predictable. You silly space marine, you. It's a little unfortunate it has to be this way, but I could play around with this some. If only a little bit. Seriously, he boarded me?
How may I serve the tower?
How did that happen, I wonder? Well. Let's try and fix this up some. So we're gonna try a hard flank attack here.
Honor the teachings
I want to make sure
of
they...
the order.
That was blunder.
At your orders.
That was another blunder. I'm fine with it though.
The patient hunter gets the prey.
So apparently he sees me.
The Kovatra
So the beacon spotted them.
to spread the greater good. Swift and silent.
Okay, that's fine. Messenger will help mitigate a lot of that.
Serve the Korvatra.
If he wants to do it this way, fine.
Korel, ready.
Calculating new vector.
And I have silent running if active, so that's not an issue until this thing decides to...
Honor the teachings.
Until all my ships decide to ram each other. In which, of course, they now have a recon beacon on, so much for that.
As the ethereals wish.
So I can dodge them still. That's not a problem so much. Not yet. Kinda wish I had extended the point defense weaponry. Because he's just gonna fire these and... this is amusing. And this...
Closing on your position.
there. Let's try this out. Get some damage in. Have to kind of run away from him.
We serve the Korvatra.
So I can dodge that easily. Bombers did absolutely nothing even with the torpedo screen, so...
Maneuvering thrusters engaged.
well, that's a little unfortunate. Oh well, I can repair that.
Air drones activated.
Just chip it away. All he's got really is this torpedo, so if I manage that well, it's not a problem.
Drive to maximum. Shift to optimal combat speed.
So,
Korel.
can I focus my fire some? And why is... I'm losing a lot of control here. This is irritating.
We serve the Korvatra.
Maneuvering thrusters engaged. Gravitic drive.
Not my day, it seems like.
Calculating new vector.
I'm just blundering my controls some.
Shift to optimal combat speed. Closing on your position.
Because nothing is actually bombing, but he is flying towards me, which will help make the torpedoes a little bit better at least.
The ethereals guide us.
So, get all the repairs underway.
Restore the Earth-class construction.
Focus these things down.
It will be struck. At your orders.
Prioritize and murder.
Korel, ready.
This is looking awful.
Tower shall prosper. Aircraft ready for
Let me just get my bit wits about me here, but I'm actually helping him by doing this as well.
shift to optimal combat speed.
This is just getting silly.
Follow the teachings of the order.
But in the end, I have the repair drones underway, so...
We serve the Korvatra. Closing on your position. Korel, ready. The tower shall prosper.
So, prioritize, aim.
Disengaging pure tide command.
If I focus my damage, that's fine.
For Alva it will be.
Ha! How the tables have turned. Although,
Blast doors sealed.
I am about to lose this ship in a moment.
Guide us. How may I serve?
And the bombers did absolutely nothing.
We serve
So,
the Korvatra.
this is amusing.
Target acquired.
Yeah, there goes my cruiser. First blood is his.
Orders, Koro. To spread the greater good.
So, board that damn thing already, will ya?
Calculating new vector.
This is just silly. I don't even have words for this. I have torpedoes for the bait. There we go, that's
At your order.
2 of them down. So I have 75 armor, so it's really just these boring torpedoes, which actually,
Sky now fire.
come to think of it, have a minimum range.
At your orders, Koro.
Pure tide's teachings guide guide our fire.
So, I don't know what to make of this.
The ethereal's wish.
Just bored. Do what damage is necessary, I guess. Again, I have no words for this silly match.
Maneuvering clusters engaged.
Oh, he got his immunity favor going.
To spread the greater good.
How may I serve the Taobao?
So, fire away. Can my bombers do damage they need to, though? Nope, didn't look like it.
Aircraft ready for orders.
At your orders,
So he is killing these ships, so...
the ethereals guide us.
And none of my abilities won't activate. Why?
Humbly I serve.
What the hell's going on?
Gravitic drive engaged.
I'm losing control for some reason here. I tried to spawn.
L ready.
Seriously?
We serve the
Did he
Cobalt
seriously
Tower.
pull the plug?
As the ethereals wish.
It was a stupid match, mind you. And I handled it really poorly. And now he's just pulled the plug because he couldn't admit defeat. I don't want to remember this match anyway.